Hi, today I'm going to introduce an idea for a sound-based experience in a semi-automatic vehicle. To begin the idea, a design process was formed around each activity from the workbook. To start the design process, understanding the sounds heard in and around a vehicle was important to provide context. Next, the initial idea was formed and feedback was received. Then, expected, possible, and unexpected acts in and around a vehicle were illustrated. Research on relevant literature and projects was after that. Redesigning the idea for sight, sound, touch, motion, taste, and smell, and then finally, car notify idea refined. Activity 1 was observing and visualizing each sound I could hear. This allowed me to have a greater understanding of sounds present in everyday vehicles and explore sounds that were interesting to me. Activity 2 was forming the initial idea and receiving feedback. This helped me understand what I needed to focus on, what could be improved, and what I will need to research in order to make the idea achievable. Activity 3 was observing acts and illustrating them. However, this one was categorized into expected, possible, and unexpected activities. This helped me understand the acts the user may or may not encounter and provide more context to the brief. Activity 4 was finding and reflecting upon relevant literature and projects relating to my idea. I researched voice assistants and if they're actually useful for a driver, types of voice assistants, the users and semi-automatic cars, a survey conducted on potential users, as well as 2 projects that were similar to my idea. This research provided me with a clear understanding of things I can refine and incorporate into the final idea. Activity 5 was to redesign my idea into sight, sound, touch, taste, motion, and smell. Although the majority of the redesigns were impractical, sight was incorporated to respond to the survey as well as make the idea stronger. Activity 6 was refining and finalizing the idea. The project was given the name Car Notify, and more details about functions and users were discussed. Research on car autonomous levels was important to ensure Car Notify could be used safely, as Level 3 is the lowest car to drive in order for the user to drive without distractions. A study was conducted by the Center of Design Research at Stanford University. It aimed at seeing if audio cues were actually beneficial to the user. The results were 8.5 out of 10 scored for audio navigation. Once this information was collected, research into types of voice assistants was needed. From a study conducted by Professor Carl McDoran, exploring voice preferences for voice assistants, it was found that female voices were described as warmer and used for more explicit vocal measures. As the design is based around humans, a survey was conducted on potential users to see if they liked the idea, would use the idea, and things they didn't like about it. The most common result was wanting a screen to visualize the alerts and not just hear it, and they would like to hear how many kilometers were left in their tanks when the fuel alert came up. It appeared that users that drive their car more often are more likely to use the device, unlike people that use their car once or twice a week. The projects DriveScribe and DriveSafely.ly provided great insight into things that didn't and didn't work for users. DriveScribe was useful in designing an interface for Car Notify as it is simple and easy to read. DriveSafe.ly was used in the speech-to-text function and how natural voices sounded, which was a winner for users. The final concept is Car Notify. Car Notify is a simple solution for car light worries, a device connected to an app which vocally alerts the driver of certain car safety lights, and if possible, offers a solution. This technology allows the user to feel safe driving without worrying how to fix a problem to the car when it occurs. The voice assistant is female by default. However, users can choose between both genders. The app interface is very simple, which allows the user to easily see alerts, directions, and the talk button, which allows them to communicate to the device. Future intentions for the app is that the app can send out an alert to another user, if added, which allows them to receive the car alerts. This would be perfect for new drivers and their parents to see what is happening with the car. The device recognizes fuel levels, oil pressure and oil levels, brake pads, radiator fluid, tire pressure, battery level, wheel alignment, engine problems, and next service. As seen on the slide, setup questions will be asked in order for the user to fully use all the functionality that comes with the device. This slide shows basic user commands to phrases the voice assistant says. The user commands were kept simple so the user did not have to remember too many lines, and we tried to keep them as natural as possible. The user storyboard shows basic functionality and use with the device and app. As seen on the slide, The first step is the user is just driving on the road. The second step, the fuel light turns on. A vocal alert will say, fuel level is low, 50 kilometers left, the nearest fuel station is 10 kilometers away. The user can then press the green talk button on the screen, which allows them to input and say, reroute to the nearest fuel station. Step 4, the directions are read out to the driver by the voice assistant and also shown on the screen. The basic UI mockup on the right shows how simple the app design will be. Thank you for listening.